husband was by my bed, and I saw that light. And then I remember kind of looking at him. So I was like, okay, so I see this light, but I'm not dreaming. And so then, all of a sudden, I closed my eyes, and I was thinking, is that the tunnel that the cancer patients used to tell me about? Because it is not impressive. Like, it was so small. And then all of a sudden, it came larger, and I folded into it. And I was in it. And it wasn't, it's a warm, incredibly warm, loving feeling, and you're not afraid. And I was moving through it, but I wasn't being sucked, but it was just like I was moving through the tunnel. I don't remember my whole body being part of it, nor do I remember really caring. Like, I felt totally me. But I don't remember paying special attention, like, is my body going with me? Do I have eyes? Are my ears? I just remember going through it. And then I came out into this room. And the room was magnificent. And I don't even know what else to tell you. It was, I shouldn't even say it was a room, because I didn't see any walls, and nor did I see any limitations, but I had the sense it was a room, and it was a very brilliant color. There's not an earth color to say what it is. I don't even know. I call it pink because it had a hint of a soft, because if you think of brilliant, you think of harsh, but this room was not harsh. It was soft, and mostly it was so accepting and loving. And I remember then that something holds me. I don't remember how I got there, but something is holding me, because I can feel it physically around me. And it says, Mary Jo, you cannot stay. And I say, why? Or first I was upset. I said, what? And it said, you cannot stay. And then I said, why? And this voice that I don't see his face, I can't tell you what it looks like because I have no idea. It says to me, you can't stay because you have more to do. And I said, oh, more to do? And he goes, yes, you haven't given enough. And I said, I haven't given enough. And I started talking about every human acolyte I could think. I started saying, I work at that cancer center. I only get paid $600 a month. I'm on 24/7 call. There's nobody that can't call me in the middle of the night, and I actually answer the phone and talk to him. Everything possible that I could brag about on a tombstone, I talked to this God about. And then God says, well, let me ask you one question. And then it says, have you ever loved any person the way you've been loved in this short time here? And I said, no, it's impossible. I'm just a human. And it kind of chuckled. It wasn't human, but it was able to relate to me in a very human way that made me feel loved. And it wasn't laughing at me, but it was a chuckle, like it had a playful edge, and it said, you can do better. And then I remember waking up, and Ron was crying, and he's got this form of what they give you when you're going to have surgery. And he's like, Mary, we got to go over this form. I need to know that you know what I'm saying. And then Ron goes, Mary, listen, you could die. You're really sick, and they're going to have to do surgery on you. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to die, because I just talked to God and He won't let me.
Were you a skeptic before this about all this? You were?
Yes, I was working with cancer patients prior to this happening. I was getting ready to move to Houston. I was probably at the lowest point in any faith. I had seen terrible things in that cancer center, people dying, and when I would go in and they would tell me they saw things, I would respond. I would just sit there, and they would say, can you see them? And I'd say, no, I can't see them. Then I would leave the room and tell the resident, you better check their morphine.
Those patients that you were there with who said they too had now seen heaven or God or the tunnel, and you turned your back on them.
Well, I was present with them, but the sense I turned my back is when I would leave the room, I would tell the resident, I think you better get a morphine level on them because I think they're hallucinating.
So you thought there's other stories from people that where they thought they'd gone to heaven, that they're just hallucinating?
Had I seen them now, those patients who were telling me they were seeing angels, I would have embraced that and said, really? Let's talk about it. Tell me. Because they were telling me what God looked like as they were going.
What do you say to people that are still doubters about this?
I say that you relieve my guilt that I have. In a way, I embrace the doubters because I feel a lot of guilt about how I used to look at it. And somehow, when people doubt the story, I can say, see, they're in medicine too, and they doubted, and that's why I was the way I was.
There's a lot of skepticism within the medical world.
Yes.
That this is an explanation for what you saw or felt. They just believe this is some kind of blood, electricity, neurons, other things that can cause this.
Right. Well, then I would ask them, who programmed that in?